You're gonna like this guy. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Good Life podcast. It's a really exciting week this week. We have officially launched the Good Life. So it's the 2nd of April today. We launched 2 days ago, March the 1st. March the 31st.
We were going to launch April the 1st until we realised it was April Fool's and we thought we won't put it out there just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in case. We spoke to the guys who sort of do our media, right? And they said it's probably not a good idea, which we've worked really hard on it. So for people to think it would be a joke would probably not be ideal, would it? But yeah, it's been such a good week in the service. So got some shout outs to do to start with, right? Do you want to start with some of yours, George?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I'll get started with Mr. Max Bennington, who completed the Rome Marathon and initially actually joined the coaching as wanting to get in better shape and start losing body fat. And then throughout the process, he was like, listen, I want to attack another marathon. And then we kind of made the decision, don't chase two things at once, which I think is an important thing. So we committed to the full marathon and he got a 20-minute PB, completing it in 3:33. So he done it at like a 5:03 per kilometre pace. And now I've got into my running, I realise how impressive that actually is. And yeah, he absolutely smashed it. So completed the Rome Marathon, now back into his body recomposition and looking to get photo shoot shredded. So I'm just going to put it out there, put him under some pressure. Also, big shout out to the OG, Mr. Josh Weeks from Portsmouth, who raised as a collective £24,500 in a 24-hour challenge. So he ran 70 kilometres and done a 100-kilometre cycle within 24 hours non-stop, no sleep, as a part of the team from Jets Portsmouth, where I actually used to work. It was one of the first gyms that I PT'd at. So massive shout out to Josh. And again, now he's going into that body composition phase as well. And I know there's a few from your team, right?
Yeah,
Photo
absolutely.
shoot.
And like I say, we had 4 clients, Megan, Georgie, Adrian and Luke do a photo shoot. It was the first one sort of under the TGL brand as well, right? They've been working with them for a while, but I think collectively they lost just shy of like 50 kg between 4 of them, all started from different points. And I think that's the best thing about fitness, right? Everyone starts from a different point. But yeah, they all looked incredible. Still waiting for their results. So it was only not even a week ago that they took part on that. We had George, who climbed Mount Tupkul, I believe, in Morocco. Might be pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, outrageous. I think it's the highest mountain in North Africa or something like that. And yeah, he said he absolutely loved it. One of the hardest things he's done, but absolutely loved it. And he's already looking for like the next mountain to conquer. So I think as well, that message is so powerful, is just talking about how it's the hardest thing he's done, but he absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, that was similar to some of the responses from the photo shoot. And Georgie said it's probably the best day of her life she's had in like the last 2 years. And when she joined, I've only been working with her just over 4 months now. She was already a fit girl, into the gym, trained a lot, etc. Just needed help, like streamlining everything and actually taking it to the next level. I think there's a huge misconception where people think you go to the gym, you're healthy. You're so far from it. Like you see so many people go to the gym and it's amazing, they just turn up and get to the gym, but there's so many other stuff that you need to do. And I always think you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not doing the other things, because you're doing the hard bit, getting to the gym. But yeah, she absolutely smashed it. And like I say, she said it was like one of the best days she's ever done. And she when I first approached her about it, she was like, I would never think I'd do something like that. She doesn't even like uploading photos to her social media of her because she's very conscious. But the day of the shoot, she like posted a couple of herself looking great. And I think it's just says something, right, about putting yourself out your comfort zone and doing something that is hard and how rewarding that actually is after.
And I almost think the reward as well is the process and of actually going through the training block. Like I feel like a big mistake that I see from not people who we directly coach, because obviously there's an intent towards working towards the event, but I sometimes see it outside when people are doing it on their own. They book the event and then they don't train properly for it, turn up and just complete it. Like anyone can do these things, but I think the reward is the 12, 16 week build up, the person you become, the discipline you create. That's the reason that I actually do these things. Like when I like to usually do a photo shoot once every year. I'm not doing it because I've got the twins. That's just enough of a challenge in itself for discipline and whatnot. But just to freshen up, usually once a year. And it's just almost like a bit of a freshen up, a clean up on your standards and discipline.
Mate, something I want to talk about. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, I think, actually. And it's so funny you brought that up about it's actually the journey, which is a rewarding bit. I had a call this morning and it was with Georgie again, funnily enough. And she's got, so obviously she's done her body composition stuff. She looks great. We're going into a bit of a build phase now, which you'll be very closely linked with and involved in as well. And then she wants to basically complete in the next second half of the year. She wants to do a half marathon in Rome, I believe, as well, funnily enough. And then also wants to do a Hyrox. And we were talking, she's basically just coming back from a minor injury. So that's one of the reasons why we actually just focused purely on body composition. She couldn't really run. She couldn't really do any of the endurance stuff. So we just focused purely on body comp, getting some really good habits in place. And we were speaking about it. She was like, I don't really want to do it if I'm not fully ready. And I said exactly the same as what you said. Like, you can just turn up to these things and complete, right? And I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but anyone really can probably complete a marathon. Like, you don't have to run the whole thing. I could
complete one now, get in 5-6 hours.
Yeah, and just walk a little bit, run a little bit, and great. Like, cool, you've managed to walk/run, jog 42K, which is still really cool, of course. But I can't express how passionate I am about, like, the reward comes from the hard work. Like, there's a difference between training for something and completing it and then just rocking up. And it's not about time. If you train so hard and you still complete it in 6 hours, amazing. You've worked towards that. And that is amazing. You've worked hard for X amount of months to finish an event. That's fine. No one cares about time. It's not about finishing time. It's not about getting sub 3. It's not about getting sub 4. It's not about that. But it is about putting the work in, and that's where the reward comes from.
And the work is done in them months before, right? Like, we was actually having this conversation in our chat with Adam, by the way. So again, shout out to a few more people who have got stuff coming up. It's so cool just to see, like, Valentino, one of our clients who's lost over 20 kg, completely reinvented himself. A dad of 2, a business owner, so much stress, and I think he just put his health to the back of the pile. He's lost 20 kg, and now he's thinking performance, right? He's going to enter for his first half marathon. He's fitter now in his mid-40s than he was in his 20s, which is unbelievable. We've got Jose, who's a dad of now two daughters, and he's obviously looking to be the bodyguard for his daughters. So now he is absolutely jacked. He's done it in reverse order. He used to be like he's a very good performance athlete, but he didn't have the body composition, and he's like, it's just holding me back. So now he's got in shape. And Adam, who I was speaking about, he is just a few weeks away now from doing his first photo shoot. He's actually got a child on the way. So many parents in there. So he's got a son on the way. And I remember going through that when I was going to have Roman. It just, like, changes your mindset to be like, you almost see the date of birth of your child as like the deadline of like, I need to get in shape for that. And then you realize actually after you have a kid that if anything, it just gives you more purpose to train harder. But anyway, for him, he was saying, George, what should I change? What should I do in like the few days leading up to the photo shoot? And we were saying to him that you should just be ready. Like even probably a week or 2 weeks before, the work should be done. You should not really make any drastic changes. Maybe there's a few things you can manipulate, but when it comes to, especially a photo shoot transformation, maybe minor adjustments with carbohydrates, but
water intake, etc.
But if you're a competitive bodybuilder, of course, like every detail matters. But for what we're all looking, just walking in looking great, like you should just be rocking up shredded, you know. And he is going to be. He's looking insane,
he's
right?
Great already,
So I think that's a bit of a misconception of like, what should I do in the week before? And I'm not saying he is this because he hasn't. He has literally smashed the block, and he's going to be ready, you know. So. Yeah, it's exciting. There's a lot of people, and look how much the fitness industry's changed now. It literally just used to be like getting jacked, getting in shape, and now people are using that as a platform to then go on and do other things.
I put something on my story on socials a while ago. It was a good few months ago, man. But it was, and it's basically it was a poll, and I said, like, what's more important to you, like basically your physique or like how you perform, right? So can you run, or do you just want to look good? Like look good, or do you want to perform good? I think they were the two words: look or perform. And the overwhelming response was perform, like massive. I'm talking 75% voted perform. I can almost guarantee, like when we first started lifting, that would have flipped, right? Anyone, I don't know if it was the age we was at, but everything you see on social media and stuff, that would just be about the biggest guy is the best guy, right? The more you can lift, the better. No one would even mention running these events that have popped up all over the place, like your Hyrox and things like that, Ethics Games and things like that. It's just so much, and I love it because it just is more about health. Yeah. Again, there's such misconceptions in there. You can look unbelievable, but you can actually be extremely unhealthy. Like these bodybuilders, you see how like young some of these bodybuilders die, right? And obviously there's probably a lot of reasons why that is, but I think for those who aren't really as educated as others in like the fitness industry, you'd probably look at that and think 6-pack, lean, hardly any body fat, huge muscles, super healthy, but it's actually not the case, and it is shifting so much. Yeah. And I think it's only going to increase. 100%. I really do. It's almost fashionable now to run, to do these Hyrox events, to do these other endurance events. Like seeing people just trying to like run in 100K, you see it all the time now. Like 10 years ago, if I saw someone that were going to run 100k, I'd have been like, impossible. You need to
Standards
sit
are
all the
just
time.
through the roof, aren't they?
Nuts.
It's mental.
It's nuts, yeah.
Yeah, but that's almost why. I mean, when we were younger, we were doing more of a bodybuilding approach, and there was a time when I was doing the competitions, if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely,
How
I
many
remember, yeah.
I must have done quite a few, and I was only, 17, 18, 19. I was like competing in the under 21s. It was like the natural UK physique. So everyone was quite slim and all that kind of stuff. But I just realized, like, when you get into that kind of competitive game, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Like, if you want to be like the best possible bodybuilder and that's your thing, then, go for it, jump into that. But I think that I got into it and I just realized basically, like, and I guess it's like it within any field, but if you want to start hitting like the top ranks, it's basically a game of like who wants to give up the most in your life. And that's what I realized, because I was pushing and I was really trying to get top place, and I think I kept getting second, and I was looking at the people getting first, and I was seeing the way they were operating, and I was like, I just haven't got that in me. Like, I've got a missus, I like to go out and have a meal on the weekends. I've, even before having a family, I was always spending time with the family and whatnot, and I just didn't have it in me to give up everything. Yeah. And it's like them little 5% things that make a difference at that level. And I guess that created a bit of a negative relationship with events and competition. And then I kind of went into a phase almost up until now, really, where never wanted to enter into competitions and events and stuff like that, because I was like, no, this is for me. It's only my improvements. It's me versus me. I haven't got to go alongside someone to prove my worth. But now that's kind of changing, because I'm seeing how everyone in the community and even yourself entering for events, pushing yourself, and you're not, competing against every single person in that. You're just trying to beat your times within those events, right? Which I guess brings us on to our point of entering for my first race. I mean, you've done quite a lot of races, right? How many races have you done?
I've done a few. What have I done? I've done like a 10K. Done that because I'm still fairly new as well.
Have you done a 5K
endurance
race?
Field. No,
not
a 5K. Not like a. I mean, in the UK they have park runs, don't they? So
yeah.
I've still never done a park run.
Do we say we never compete, popular. But at the park run you overtake
go
everyone?
for it as much as we can. They don't do that here, do they? They don't do anything like a park run. No,
okay.
I think they do
the
odd. Imagine that TGL park run.
We can get it going.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So would you use a park run for like a time trial or something, or just
probably?
Are they just fun,
I think the thing is as well, like they're all so different, so it's quite hard to.
They're not fun, are they?
No, they're not.
Are they just competitive?
They are competitive. Like no one does. I refuse to believe that anyone does like a race for fun. Like I think that's coming from like our sport background. Like if I'm there, I want to do the best that I'm going to be able to do, no matter what. And I will always be, no matter what time I get, I will always think in the back of my mind, could have done better. But no,
it's almost like match day, isn't it? Like your cup
is,
final.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, every like race is a cup final. But no, mate, I've done I haven't done many at all, really. I've done a 10K, couple of Hyroxes, 2 half marathons now.
Let's let the audience know. You'll give me permission. So let's just go over your time. So what's your 5K?
I think my 5K is like 18:29. I think 18:29.
18:29 5K, 10K PB.
39:12. That's got a bit of work to do, but again, that was actually in the middle of a long run. So I was doing a long run. I think I had 6K at a certain pace, and I had like 10K at a quicker pace, and like a 6K slow. It was in a half marathon prep, and I managed to just nail 39:12 in the middle of a long run. So I probably got.
So you didn't even go all out for 10K.
No, it wasn't like a 10K. It was I think it was like a 21K run or something like that, and just a 10K bit in the middle. That's where I managed to get it.
And then half marathon time.
We go Strava or Chip.
What's the official way?
We'll go Chip. So Chip was 1:26:02. I think Strava was like 1:25:40, something like that. And that was just in the Burge to Burge, obviously the most recent one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. That's a good time. Like,
and then Hyrox times, how does that work? Have you competed in different? I actually don't fully understand.
Yeah.
The concept,
so Hyrox still fairly new in that, mate. So I only started training like this, or even attempting running like. I think it was like last April, so not even a year yet. Well, just about a year probably, just approaching that year mark. And then I entered like my first solo Hyrox, which I got 107, which is very average. I actually left that feeling really disappointed. I think
it's good sometimes to feel like that, though, right? You don't want to be turning up like.
I think as well, like everyone was saying, like, don't go out too hot, you'll hit a wall. So I just never went out too hot, but I finished it and thought
there was more.
Much more, yeah.
Okay.
So I've definitely learned a lot, and I know there's so much more on the locker, and that's exciting. I will definitely do a solo just to prove to myself that I can get closer to the hour mark. I don't know if I'm ready to go full in to like push that 60-minute mark, because that's like a serious time. Getting that sub 60 on a solo, even in an open, is difficult. And again, you do have to go all in if you want to be the best you can be, you have to go all in it. You can't just dip your toe in, do a few runs, do a couple of Hyrox workouts here and there. Don't know if I love it enough for that. And then solos done 2 solos, both, I think it was 57 I think it was 57. Done one with Alex Burbeck, the main man.
Yeah.
And I think we got like 57, was it 57.39 or 57.29, something like that. So that's an okay time. That was actually.
Mate, I imagine these are pretty good time. I don't know the time.
It was all right. It was okay.
I imagine that's a very good time.
That was like I think that was either like 24 or 48 hours after my solo Hyrox, so it wasn't overly fresh. But mate, they're great fun, and I think it gets quite a bad rep, doesn't it? Like it's definitely got a bad rep, and I think even before I started like training for it, I think I just underestimated it. And you think it's a bit gimmicky, like just loads of people running around, like the vanity's through the roof, and nothing's overly difficult. But when you combine everything, it's a really tough thing. Like again, it's one of those things. It's almost like a running event. Yeah. If you just want to go and do it, cool, take 3 hours to do it. But if you want to put work in and crush a good time, like mate, it's hard. Like it is really tough. I mean, the gym I was training at in Portsmouth, Fusion, mate, there's some ridiculous animals there, like ridiculous animals. And like you put yourself in another circle and you're like, okay, I'm okay, I'm competent. You go down there, you're like the smallest fish ever. But it's good to be like that. I actually quite like being like that.
Absolutely.
And again, something you said is sometimes you've got to put stuff in perspective when you're competing or when you're racing or doing whatever. It's pointless comparing myself to someone who's been doing this less than 12 months to someone who's been doing it 3-4 years. Yeah. And I think that's the joy of like endurance and these races. It is no point comparing yourself to someone who's ran since they were 6 years old. Like they've got 20 years on you, 25 years. You can't compare yourself, but what you can focus on is you getting a little bit better. And I think that's why Hyrox does so well. I think on the surface, you look at it and it's the same event. And you think, until you do one, you think, why are people turning up doing the same race every single time? It don't really make sense, does it? Like, it's so repetitive. But you finish that time and it's like, I want to go beat that time now. And where it is the same, you can go away and actually work on those specific things.
Weaknesses that you've
Absolutely.
got. What for you is the hardest part of the Hyrox? I guess your running's a stronger point on Hyrox.
I mean, like, again, it depends what circle you're in. Like, for an average person, I'm probably seen as quite quick. But for, like, people who are very good at it, I'm probably seen as quite slow. Okay. But, mate, it's
is there things that you need to feel
absolutely.
like?
I'm quite light, so like I do find the sleds quite hard. Okay. Just because I'm fairly light.
What's the weight of the sleds?
So that for an open, it's 152 for a push, and I think it's 102 for a pull, and then it's basically increased by 50 kg for pro division. And mate, I'm 75. So it's ideal for some stuff. So like running it, like burpees, I'm pretty good at because I'm fairly light. I just throw myself down, get up pretty quick. But the weight stuff, I do find it just fairly heavy just because of my weight. So like the heavy guys, they might find maybe burpees a little bit more difficult. So for you, for example, around 95, you might find the burpees a little bit more taxing, but the sleds I could imagine would just be a breeze. Okay.
That's where if you're a duo, it can help out maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting, okay.
But mate, I love it. And I love just events like that. We spoke about it out there, didn't we? That things have people have such strong opinions on stuff. I think just do what the hell you want, especially when it's health and fitness. Like, I mean, I don't care what anyone does in their day-to-day life. If they enjoy it and it's not harming anyone else, just let people enjoy it. Yeah. If people want to smash out a Hyrox and run 5 times a week and do these workouts that people might look at and not really understand, but they're improving their health, their fitness, it makes them happy.
It's giving them a purpose.
Cares?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who cares? There's people have got so much to say on. I mean, I think half the time people do it just to go viral or get clicks online. It's just so boring.
And sometimes it's almost they're almost talking from a place that they lack as well. So let's say, for example, like people have a lot of muscle, a lot of strength. What are they naturally going to hate on? They're going to hate on the things that they haven't got. Yeah. And maybe sometimes it could be vice versa as well.
Agreed.
I don't know, runners could hate on building muscle and bodybuilders. Obviously not everyone, but...
I think there's it's just something to go on there. That True at Haynes guy, you know, the guy who does his marathons in jeans?
Yes, yeah.
So he's essentially trying to get into the American marathon time trials, I think, which I think you need like a sub 2:19 marathon time or something outrageous, like just ridiculous. And there's loads of runners in the field that have just come out and said impossible, like you're never going to do it, like almost saying he's being disrespectful to even try it. Okay. And again, these are these runners who are generically obviously outrageous at running. Like in my wildest dreams, couldn't even imagine being that fit or being able to run like that. But they do have that runner's physique. And I think seeing someone who actually, was jacked, also extremely fit and fast.
Wearing jeans.
Wearing jeans. Almost taking the mick a little bit, right? Yeah. But people just don't like it. People just don't like it. And I do think this day and age, I think people like refer to them like, it's a horrible saying, but like the hybrid athlete. Like people can run, people look great whilst doing it, and it's sort of like the pinnacle now. Like being good at one of those isn't like seen as impressive now. Like if you can run, cool, but can you bench 100 kg? No, okay, then you're not there, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And that's why it's important to stay in your own lane and just focus on yourself. Like I've realized again, this game is sometimes a game of like, you see some of the top athletes. I've got a few friends who are running like some outrageous times I've spoke to, and I look at their schedule and I'm like, there's no way I could. There's literally no way I could do that. Like double sessions most days, and I'm like, yeah, it's enough. So I just need to focus on myself and improving there. We've entered for a 10K race, so it's my first ever race that I've ever done, and kind of getting back into doing an event, but maybe seeing it in a different light, really. So
absolutely,
it'd be interesting.
I think it's something just you can transfer to life, right? Just like trying to be a little bit better than yesterday. And again, it's really cheesy, but just trying to be that little bit better.
Yeah.
Like you don't have, there's no point comparing yourself. I think it's great to like admire people and be like, I'd love to be able to do that. And I think that's amazing. What's the saying? Like comparison is the thief of joy or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I agree with that to a certain extent, but I also think comparison can be good. But
Yeah.
I think you just need like comparison within context. Like it's pointless. Like for example, you trying to match someone who's been running 10 years when you've been running how long? 3 months, 2 months? It's just pointless, isn't it? Like it's just not going to happen.
100%.
For you playing football, for us playing football and then going against two other people who've maybe literally never kicked a ball before, but we've got 2 decades of experience playing football, it's just not relevant. No. It's just pointless comparing. And I think it's the same with these events, I think. But that's why it's great. If you're getting better and you're improving your times and you're trying to do things to progress forward, then that's all you need to worry about.
Mate, the interesting thing for running for me is that I've just never kind of experienced certain things. So I've never actually tested a 10K. I've never even run a half marathon yet, ever. So it's nice to kind of explore new things and just see where you're at with it as well. So yeah, I mean, people say you shouldn't talk about your goals, but I want to say it publicly, right? And if I fail, I will own it as well. So me and Ben actually, and this is what happens when you train with savages. Ben's moved to Dubai. He's fucking rapid. I'm slow as anything. Like, right, I've got to get my shit in order here. It's exposed a few weaknesses. Fitness is a all-round holistic thing. Running was obviously a weakness, and I'm like, right, I've at least got to be able to try and challenge somehow at some point, miles off it. But when we go to the track, obviously we're pushing. So we done an interval and got a sub 25K.
A couple of weeks ago, right?
A couple of weeks ago, which was mental because for me, that was always like the first goal in mind, but we kind of accidentally got it in an interval session because we were doing the intervals, and then in between, I was assuming, right, we'll walk the rest, and you'll say, no, let's keep jogging.
Yeah. Recovery run, absolutely.
My heart rate was never coming like below 170, and we've got a sub 25K in there. Those sessions buried.
You cleared it as well, didn't you? What was the time in the end? It wasn't even close, was it? Was it 1930 or something?
1941, maybe something like that.
Close.
So now the next one is the 10K. So the 10K race is. At the moment, my prediction for the 10K on the Garmin and Strava is 40.01. So at the moment, I'm going to be absolutely on the wire. Yeah. I've got 5 weeks to train, lock in. The runs have gone up to 4 times a week now. Gym 3 times a week. That's my max. Honestly, I don't think I can get more time than that. Like Beth's already furious. The only option for me to get these runs in is a 4:40 alarm in the morning, literally, and just get it done. I say before the kids wake up, but I got a bit of a problem with that, as you know. Every time my alarm goes off, Roman wakes up, he's up, wants to conquer the day. I have to put him with Beth. Anyway,
not ideal.
If anyone's got any advice for that, how I wake up that early without waking up the kids. The problem is I'm such a deep sleeper, so if the alarms are going off, I'm just, it wakes up the kids instantly. So I need to figure that one out, but we'll get there.
Absolutely. Something I just want to touch on, because you said about putting your goal out there. I don't know if you categorically said it, but do you want to say it right now, what your goal is?
Sub 40,
Sub
10K.
40.
Yeah.
So, mate, something I'm so passionate about, and I've put a little bit out on social media about it, is you should put your goals out there. I think it's great. I think, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think the only reason
if you fail, at least you got a story to tell.
Yeah, and if you fail, who cares? Like, as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I gave it all. Yeah. Then cool. Like,
that's
I'll
what
get it next time.
Yesterday. Like, I just want to make sure that now in this lead up, like everything is done.
Nutrition dialed in a little bit more. Yeah. Make sure your runs are where they need to be. And I just think the reason why people don't do it is because they are scared to fail. And I get it. Like, I get it. No one wants to fail, right? But I'm a huge believer in putting your goals out there. And I actually enjoy...
What's your 10K... attempt?
Okay, so if I don't get a PB, I'll be
so your 10K last time was through the half long run. Sorry,
so, yeah,
and it was what was the time?
39:12. So I've got. I think the first 10K I done was last year, and I remember I'd done it with a few boys. It was in Littlehampton, a small place in the UK. and I like put so much on me getting sub 40, and I didn't think I would. I knew it was going to be close, similar to you, like very close, but I put it out there and I was like, I'm going to be gutted if I don't get it sub 40. I sent it to people I was talking to at the time. I was like, I have to get it. I'm going to be gutted if I don't. Be really disappointed. It's like do or die almost. And I enjoyed that pressure because I thought, you know what, if I don't do it, I'm letting myself down and I'm letting other people down. And I thrive in that. I like it. I want it to be hard. I want there to be pressure. But yeah, it was like it's a seaside town. We got out of the car and it was so windy, and I thought, oh, thank God, it's not good. It's windy, like which way the wind's going to be. And I just thought, right, we'll go for it. I had a plan in mind. Something I am quite good at in competition is I do stick to my plan, so I don't get sucked in all the egos. It doesn't really affect me. So if people go out hot, fine. Like I will stick to what I need to stick to. Otherwise, I know it just end badly. But yeah, so I done that, and I think I got like a 39. Maybe like a 39, 33 in an official 10K. And it was tough. It was so windy. It was really difficult.
This is bad news for me.
It was not. You'll be fine, mate. I reckon you'll be fine. No, you'll be fine. But yeah, I think.
So what's your goal? Let's say it.
A sub 39. Sub
39. So you want to see a 38 on there?
Yeah, I'd be over the moon. Considering, again, it sounds like I'm making an excuse, but my training since being here hasn't been great. I mean, obviously the situation hasn't been ideal, right? Like everything going on, it's not been perfect. I had a couple of injuries as well, which has been an absolute nightmare. My hamstrings, which I'm quite prone to be fair, but they feel okay. But I think we've started a few things running together, right? Like a long run on the Saturdays. We've got TGL tracks on a Tuesday. We'll go into a little bit more information on that in a minute, but we're absolutely loving that.
Yeah.
So this week, getting back to 4 runs a week. Next week, try and get 5 runs in. And then, yeah, just send it and hope for the best.
Who would have thought we'd ever be doing 4 or 5 runs a week? What is going on?
Normally it'd be
fully
what you
got in my head here, and you've fully
converted.
got in my head.
Absolutely converted. But yeah, mate, I think that's just something that I want to put out there. Like, if you've got a goal, share it. Like, just share it. Put that pressure on yourself. And if you don't make it, it's fine. Like, just try again. And I can guarantee you, when you fail at a goal and then you get it next time, it'll probably feel twice as good because you know you've gone through that bit of adversity. You've had to work that a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And you've got it.
And I've seen it a few times where people have said to me, oh, I haven't hit that goal, so I'm not as motivated. Or even sometimes, oh, I'm not in that good shape, so I'm not as motivated. And I don't understand how that's not the most motivating thing ever. Like for me, that would be seen as like almost like I would have to like double down on everything in order to do it. Almost just to prove a point kind of thing. I guess it's just that switch in mentality. Yeah, if you're not in shape, double down until you are in shape. Look in the mirror every day, you're not happy. That's your motivation to improve from that point that you're at, really.
Absolutely.
And I think an important point for anyone listening now, because obviously we've been speaking about what our kind of focus is, and I like to kind of work in 8 to 12 week blocks, and that's what we're obviously doing with all of the clients within the Good Life, is making sure that every 8 to 12 weeks people have a plan. And that's not to say that people won't have holidays and rest weeks and deloads. Like them times are very important, hopefully in between the phases. But if you're listening now, like what phase are you in? I mean, some people might not want to grow. They might just want to maintain, have a healthy lifestyle, and that's fine if that's your goal. But I don't know, if you're not growing, you're dying. I think Tony Robbins says like you want to be almost pushing. And I feel like fitness is like that. If you just stay still, you just slowly go backwards. Because I think even the stat of plus 30, you lose, 3% of muscle per year or something naturally if you don't do anything. Yeah. So you're almost fighting that anyway. So I feel like you've got to be growing. So for anyone listening, what is your focus? And if not, what are you going to get in play? And try not to do all of them at once. Try and pick one. If there was one thing that you needed to sort out right now, whether for me it's running, that's a clear, obvious thing that I need to sort. What is that going to be for you? I think, either it's body composition or strength. Maybe you want to be less injury prone. So it could be your mobility. It could be your running. Could be swimming, whatever it is, I guess.
I think it's just having a purpose is so powerful, and it's just having a purpose. Like going into the gym, one of the things that I get the most is like when someone joins a service and they just get a workout program which is like tailored towards what they want. It's almost like their whole eyes are just open. Yeah, like they're like the gym session's so much better. They're so much quicker. Like. And it's because you're going in there with a purpose. You've got a clear goal in mind.
Like people say to me they're like excited the night before to go. And they don't miss their alarms anymore and stuff like that. And it's because it's something. And I think when you then get into it and you're seeing the progress, it's even better, right, as well.
Yeah, it's, like I say, I think it's vital to have a goal. I think how many people... We always have returning customers as well, right? We always have returning people who been in the service before and then they've let things slip. And it's because whether they need that extra accountability, which some people do struggle with, or whether, again, they just sort of lose that purpose, it's very hard to maintain.
Yeah.
It's very hard to maintain anything. And again, I personally think you should always have the goal of moving forward. You should always want better. Don't settle. No. Like with work, like don't settle. If you're not happy in a job or you want that little bit more, then what are you doing about it? Again, if you're not happy with your body composition, if you're not changing anything, nothing's going to change. No. Like nothing's changing. If you want to get fitter, you've got two options, right? You can either get fitter or don't. You can either take steps towards getting fitter or don't.
And sometimes people say, oh, I want to just enjoy it. I don't want it to be that serious or whatever. And it's like, actually having a plan, growing, evolving, seeing progress is enjoyable. I mean, how can you say that's not fun?
Yeah.
Like going for another run and you're that much quicker, or going to the gym and them numbers now are your warm-up weights that used to be your working weights. That is fun. That is really fun.
And I think it's fear. I think a lot of people suffer with fear, like fear of change, fear of failure again. And one of the things that you get the most is the people that's had the most amazing transformations. Maybe we can touch on this in a minute, but one of the things I always see with the people that's had the most amazing transformations is they realize how amazing they feel being locked in with their nutrition, tracking every day. It feels like you're winning every single day.
Yeah.
Like you finish that log and you're like, I hit my steps target, I hit my water intake. I hit
People
my
say to me it's
targets.
almost like a game. Like maybe they used to be gamers, but now it's like a little game that they've created in their mind.
Well, Alex said that, didn't he? And look at the shape he got in.
Yeah, exactly. All the people in outrageous shape. So I guess that brings us on to that point. I know we were going to touch on that. For the people who get in the best, let's say, shape and body composition, because that's really like our bread and butter, let's say. What would you say some key traits are from your kind of photo shoot clients that you'll see in the lead up?
I think like patience and trust is a huge thing. To trust what me and you do, because every day isn't going to be a perfect day as well. And like they're not going to wake up feeling amazing every single day, or they might be really tired after work and think, oh, it's meal prep time. You know what I mean? Or, oh, I've got to do this, or I've got to go get these sessions in, or whatever it may be. So patience that you're moving in the right direction is absolutely huge. And again, trusting what's going on, like trusting the plan, trusting the process, trusting what we're saying, because that means they're going to adhere to it fully, right? I think as well, just like, again, they sort of all intertwine, which I think is quite telling in itself, but just commitment. Yeah. Like it's hard to get in shape. Like to be in, so let me rephrase that. I don't think it's hard to be in pretty okay shape. I actually don't think it's hard to attain a little bit of muscle, be fairly lean, and fairly healthy. I don't think you need to do much for that. I think people overcomplicate it so much. I think if you move around enough each day, your water intake's where it needs to be, your calories suit where you're at in life, maybe resistance train twice a week, it probably look okay over time. It might take a little bit of time because that's quite subtle, but that's not that difficult. But to get in elite shape like some people do, it is hard. Yeah. Like it is hard. And that's why so few people are there. But I think people see stuff and they're like, I can do that. I can do that. I had a conversation with a client the other day and I had to give him just a little bit of like perspective. Like, is he really young lad? And I said to him, it's amazing you've got this desire so early because it has set you up for the next decade. Yeah. But it's not a month transformation. Like you can make huge changes in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. But really to get in a place where we're talking about like the top, like the pinnacle, right? Like super lean, super shredded, look outrageous. It takes a lot. Yeah.
I always think there's two things that come to mind. Like the common traits that I see from photo shoot clients are organization plus grit. So first of all, and you can't have like one or the other. So there's some people who can be very, very organized, but when it gets like really dark and really hard, or when like they're in a calorie deficit and they're hungry and they're tired, they haven't got grit, they're not going to make it to like a photo shoot. And you kind of have to weigh up when you're taking someone through that process, like have they got it in them in order for you to suggest this as well. Sometimes I actually test people with that, like maybe this isn't for you. And then some people say, no, do you know what, maybe it isn't. Or some people will go like, I'm not fucking having that.
They
like,
bite back.
Yeah, I actually had a shout out to Harry White, who done a photo shoot, and there was a point where he was really struggling because it gets hard. We all struggle on it. And I said, mate, maybe this isn't for you. His head went.
In his head, yeah.
And he just got shredded after that. And then the other side, if you've got too much grit, so like you're going in the gym, you're hammering everything, like you train like an absolute monster, but you just can't track your food and have organization with it. Like, you're just never going to get in shape. You're just going to be like jacked like a powerlifter kind of thing. You know? So I think having organization with your schedule, with your nutrition, almost like somewhat, I always hear this from people who do photo shoot transformations, is people will say to them, maybe I have a bit of OCD, or maybe there's
obsessed.
You're obsessed.
Yeah,
you're
obsessed
obsessive.
is a
There's
great one,
OCD.
isn't it? Yeah.
They gamify. You know, things are very measured and detailed out. One of the best preps I ever saw was Brandon Burns. Actually,
outrageous.
One of the first transformations I done. He come and stayed with me for a week, and I saw how disciplined he was with measuring, weighing, nutrition, steps. Like, everything had to be done so perfect. And even I was like, fucking hell, this is like a different level. But then also on the other side, like, you then need to be able to, when it gets really tough, to
see
push
it through
to levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think it's not necessarily for everyone either, is it? And it's not like a sign of success. Again, I think to go into that place like Brandon, like, so lean, he got to an outrageous shape, didn't he? Like, so good. And you don't have to get to that shape to like be in incredible shape, but I think definitely to get to that sort of level, it takes that much hard work. Like, you can't just wing that. No. Like, you're not just rocking up and waking up after a few months of some decent workouts, being on it 80% of the time and expect to be super shredded and lean. Like, you get out what you put in. Yeah. And I think that is the thing with health and fitness. Like, if you put in 60%, cool, like, you will improve. But if you put in like 90, 95%, you will see those rewards. It's not
there's
down
no
to
point
chance.
going into a deficit and just not doing it properly.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing ever, like dragging out a deficit. I feel like if you're going to a deficit, just commit to it and just jump into it. Because the quicker you get in it, the quicker you get the result, the quicker you get out of it. And then the quicker you can get onto the fun stuff. Yeah. Having more food, more flexibility, more performance-based goals. So that would be my recommendation. If anyone wants to get lean, just go all in 12, 16 weeks. It doesn't need to be like a year plus. I know you've got to have some element of time, but yeah, you definitely can get quick results as well. Sometimes people say I wouldn't want to do a photo shoot because I want things to be sustainable. But the way that a lot of the photo shoot preps that we do is that they almost use that photo shoot prep sometimes as a bit of a test set. They almost just want to tick the box. They want to do it once in their life. They want to have the photos to show the grandchildren one day, or the parents. Alex got his photo shoots shots back, and he said, he wants to show a few of the family members, and that's how you should feel. Like, I remember my photo shoots, and that was a bit of a checkpoint on your life, and I feel like it changes your tolerance to how hard things are, like when you take yourself to that path. So I think it's good for people to go through once, because it just changes perspective.
And just do hard things. Like how, like he would have, I know he was struggling towards the end, right? Just because it's hard, but obviously the results are wild. So he was so proud of himself. And again, like showing your family and stuff. And I had, it was Luke's partner, Oakley, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, but she reached out to me after his photo shoot, and she was literally saying, like, I've never seen him this happy. Like, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you've done for him. And that is the
that happiness
result.
Comes from that struggle, doesn't it? Like, they've gone through that pain, and then on the other side of that is like, it's almost like the good life message. Like, if you want to live the good life, there has to be a trade-off for that, in a way.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes it so rewarding, because it's so hard to do as well. Like, how many people have got that shape? I think the stat is that there's more millionaires in America than people with six packs.
Yeah. And that's only going to increase.
Yeah,
that's 100% only going to go up. Like, we see it all the time, and I think we might have spoke about it last week. I can't remember, but how many people wear like Whoop devices and stuff like that? But then how many of them are? I mean, it's great people are tracking stuff, but how many of them are actually in shape? Like, not many. Like, obviously, they're like in comparison. I bet if we look at percentages in terms of people who are, I don't know, an X amount of body fat compared to the overall Whoop users, I bet the stat is so small. Yeah. In terms of percentages. Something I just want to touch on as well is talking about like Brandon and how he got in that shape, and he was literally logging everything. I say it to clients and people who inquire all the time, like, it's not down to chance.
No.
Like, it's not
fully intentional.
Yeah, it's not luck. Like, it's not, oh, you might get in shape or you might not. If you do X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z months, you will look like this. You can have this.
I had a client when Brandon went through that transformation say, I said to the client, like, he said, wow, Brandon's shots are absolutely incredible. I would love to do something like that. And I said, well, let's go for it.
Do it.
And he said, mate, I haven't got them genetics. That was his first thing to me. I haven't got them genetics. Hey. And it's like, with genetics, right? Genetics play a part at the absolute top level when you're a competitor. And also, you don't even know your genetics until you're lean enough anyway. So, like, if you're 25% body fat, you don't know what your genetics are capable of until you're at probably single digits anyway. So That one wound me up because
Yeah.
I could see on paper every week what client A was doing. I won't say his name, and then and then what Brandon was doing. And if I just compared the inputs, the daily habit trackers, and how many weeks it went on for, it was just like completely black and white.
I always say at the time, I said, like, if you stick with us and trust the plan, trust the progress, you will get where you want.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like, it's not down a chance. It's just if you're willing to do what it takes.
Yeah.
I think again, there's another saying I really liked. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like everyone wants something, but not everyone's willing to do what it takes to get there. So everyone wants to say, oh, I can bench 100 kg, or I want a six pack, or I want to run a sub 25k, what it is. So if you want it, are you willing to put the work in to do it? It's not just going to rock up on your doorstep and you have it. So are you willing to work for it? Because everyone would want that. I always say to myself that if you ask every single person in the world, do you want to be healthy? Do you want to have a six pack? Do you want to be in control of your nutrition? Yes or no? Everyone says yes. No one's saying no. So, but why are there so many people who don't do it? It's because not everyone is willing to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why all of these injections are popular these days, because it's like, take this, get that. It's like the
Quick
easiest
results.
thing ever, right?
Yeah.
You just got to pay money and just put it in your system and then done. But
Yeah.
we all know how that's going to play out long term.
Rebounds are
as
going to be
well.
real, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, on to more positive things. So TGL, The Good Life. By the way, for anyone listening, we kind of refer both. We like TGL, don't we? TGL, we think sounds athletic. The Good Life is more the podcast, the holistic
Absolutely.
side. So obviously, we had the launch 31st of March. We have just actually launched our new branded app, which is looking cool as well. We're actually due soon to like re-record all of the exercise library, the education, which we're currently kind of building out and planning behind the scenes. Obviously, you've got your teaching background. I've got personal training background, so I think us coming together on that is going to be really cool. We're doing the TGL track sessions. We've got that community vision. We've got new systems behind the scenes where we're tracking people's rate of loss, gains, the phases they're in. Like, it feels like we're super dialed in on people at the moment. So I guess let's talk about TGL track, our favourite part of the week.
Yeah, we absolutely love it, don't we?
We can't sleep
We
Monday night.
love it. Yeah, we absolutely love it. So basically, TGL track, one of the things behind The Good Life is we wanted to build a community, right? We feel like I won't go over it again. We've said it in previous pods, but just bring people together. And we thought, right, what is the one thing we can do? We're here. What can we take part in and enjoy, and what can we bring to other people? We thought, let's start a track day. So we just finished our fourth session, right? So we've just finished our first month. On our first session, we had, was it Roberto and Liam turn up? So we had two people turn up.
And it was almost like we're going to the track, anyone want to come, right? So we just had a couple of people join us.
Yeah, absolutely. We grabbed a coffee after, and it was great. Really enjoyed it, didn't we? We thought, same again next week. And we were absolutely buzzing. So we've got like, what is it? I think it's like close to 40 people in our WhatsApp group now, where people can just have the link and they join. We post all the updates in there. And then we had, was it like 12 people on this
Good energy.
Tuesday just gone? And you think, in terms of going from 2 to 12 in 4 weeks, like with everything going on here as well, because Dubai is a little bit quieter than normal.
Yeah,
like
not a lot of people here.
Absolutely insane. And we were just so hyped, weren't we?
Yeah,
we were so hyped. I just think the whole thing's nice. We've actually got like a beginner to an intermediate group. So people who want to get into running, or people who maybe aren't that confident, we've got something for them as well. And then we've got people who we set a session up, and then they can we tell them roughly what their paces should be in comparison to certain runs they do. And we just get after it. We get there, we have a little warm-up together, we catch up after for a coffee for those people who can do it. And yeah, we absolutely love it, don't we?
It's class. Even having like Griselda there, who's been one of my clients for ages, and she's gone through the whole body composition, got in shape, done the photo shoot. And
Outrageous
I feel like she's
shape, by the
kind
way.
of, obviously unbelievable
Outrageous
shape,
shape.
mum of two, like in outrageous shape. And I feel like it's kind of given her a new spark again to turn up, and almost like, again, it's nice to start from the ground up on something. So she's like our beginner to intermediate leader, like she said, because she kind of put the idea out there. Maybe I run a group and you guys run a group, and she's doing that, getting people join, because sometimes people feel like they're maybe not ready. So it's nice that we got the different groups there as well. And even people who are in the group who can't make the 6 a.m. Some school teachers who have got to start at like 6:30 in the morning, they're just using the session we're posting and doing it in the day themselves and getting involved. So No, it's good. It'd be interesting to see where it goes.
And still post it in the group. So they do their session and still post it in the group, right? For that level of accountability.
Yeah, I feel like the track group is like a very high level of accountability.
Yeah.
Once you're in, it's like you're no going back.
Yeah,
all,
absolutely.
Because we're on everyone as well, aren't we? Like tagging everyone.
Because we're so excited.
We want like confirmation you're coming or you're not. And if you're just silent, you're out of the group.
Yeah.
Like, that's the environment we want.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what's our rule? 3 weeks of no response out.
You're kicked.
That's quite a long time, isn't it? We could bring it down to 2, but
we'll
say
third
3. Time lucky kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like stroke 3. Yeah, okay. Third time lucky, stroke 3, yeah. Okay.
They're out. But yeah, it's great, isn't it? And like the feedback from it has been really positive as well. Like everyone's like, oh, we'll be back next week. If we can make it, we'll make it. And we're still like learning how to do it because it's really difficult. When you first start, there's something you can do with a group of 20, which you can't do with a group of 2, 3, 4. So we're obviously evolving every single week. We put a poll up, don't we, every Sunday and see who's coming.
Yeah.
And then we sort of catch up and just sort of plan it. But it's great. Like we don't charge anything for it. It's just a track fee that everyone pays. And yeah, it's really nice. I've got high hopes for it. I think we're going to increase week on week.
Yeah, it's so good training with other people as well. Like for me seeing you run and I'm like, shit, I've got to try and like stay at this pace, and by like halfway through I'm in the blender. Talk to people.
On for dear life.
So we got a new term, the blender. Everyone I imagine knows what that means. Like if you're in the blender, it's bad. You can also be in the blender in different ways. Like I can be in the blender at home, all 3 kids screaming, trying to work on my laptop. I'm in the blender, just getting it done. Obviously I can be in the blender at the track when I start running round, get halfway in the blender. There's many ways you can use that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was close to throwing up the other day. I think I got up to, I didn't even know you get up to 200 beats per minute. I've got 200 beats. Can you do that?
Yeah, apparently so, my man.
So.
Yeah,
Okay,
apparently so.
So there we go. I found a new high heart rate. So it's good. It's nice to kind of be around people, and I'm sure other people are pushing themselves as well. And
I just think as well, like the whole point of like TGL is to provide a service for absolutely everybody, especially in the fitness industry. I mean, people are probably bored of seeing like, if you're a guy over 30 and you want to lose 10 kg, like this is what you should do. Like these ads that everyone gets seen. Like we just want to provide a service that people feel comfortable in, people feel like they can thrive in, and whether that is in person, like we're doing stuff like at the track, and even when we go back to UK, we'll make sure we put stuff on. We're going to do like a monthly gym session, aren't we, for people who want to be involved. And we just want to create like a real positive environment where a movement where people are just pushing each other on, celebrating each other. There's nothing better than being around people who are happy for you to win. Like they want you to win as much as you want to win. And that's sort of where we're going. And we got people there. We've got pilots. We've got people in beauty. We've got people like me and you. We had teachers there. Like we've got
Dubai's crazy, isn't it? Because when you do these things, like if you're in Dubai, you're kind of doing something a little bit different, or like everyone's kind of got a story about how they're here. Sometimes I guess you're either going to have coaches, real estate, teachers are going to be your main ones. But then outside of that, it's usually business owners. And a lot of the businesses are just so random as well. So it's good to hear people's perspectives. And I think one kind of key problem that we're trying to solve is bringing movement and training into adults' lives, because they've lost that. Maybe when they were young, they were playing sport, they were fit, they were active, work's taken over, they're working more hours, they're sat at a desk, they've lost that spark. And I think we talked about the stat earlier. What is it? 95% of, was it over 30s or adults?
Are you in terms of sprinting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was like 95% of people over 30 will never sprint again in their life.
That's wild.
Yeah.
When you think about that.
Mate,
we want people sprinting.
I'm 33 next month.
Yeah.
Like, and the thought of me just becoming like sedentary and being like, you know what, like I've hit my peak.
That's a
like,
scary stat.
That is a horrendous thought. Like I feel like genuinely, like when I'm 40, I'm going to be like in a better shape, quicker, fitter, happier. Everything's going to be at a different level when I'm 40. Like I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
And again, it's sort of like what we said. Why are people settling?
Yeah.
Like why are people settling?
Well, we want to create that kind of positive environment where it's not just like weirdos who are doing fitness. Like we're normal people. We do normal things, have families, have socials, and just enjoy life. And I think some of the benefits of training is that when you are so sedentary and you're not moving, you then become more lethargic and your energy becomes lower. And it's like, why would I go and train if my energy is low? But energy produces energy. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to help you manage stress in your life. You know, if you are pressured at work and there's them responsibilities on you, especially as a parent, like if you're feeling them responsibilities, for me, that is probably the most important thing, is to have that hour out. And the same for Beth with her dancing, just having that hour to yourself allows you to come back almost like being the person you want to be. And I do notice, like, sometimes if I don't do it long enough, or if you get an injury, like, it changes the way you handle stress as well. Just a mental sharpness and almost just combat in modern life. Like, everything in modern life is like, we've got devices in front of us. We sit down. We don't socialize a lot in today's world. We don't network a lot. And I've been there as well. Like, even when I first moved to online coaching, sat behind a desk, wanted to be like lone wolf on my own, no friends, almost had a bit of pride in it. And it's like not the way we're evolved. No. And actually, I've realized I'm a very social person. I like to be around people. I don't even like to leave. Like, when I'm around people, I like being in the mix a little bit. So that's what we're trying to solve.
Absolutely. And I think all them things are great, like the things that it transfers to real life, like stress management and just overall health. But do you know what? Sometimes just having a good time.
Yeah.
Like, just enjoying yourself. Like, I remember Amber on Tuesday, it was her first one. And she was hesitant about coming, wasn't she? And she already gone on that second run today. So a couple of days later, she's out for another run, going to buy new trainers, etc. But I remember her saying, like, oh, it's only like 7 o'clock. And I've already ran. Like, I've already done like a session for the day. It's only 7 o'clock, got the whole day ahead. Yeah. And just being around like people, and it just starts your day. It gives that positivity, and you never know what comes from an opportunity of meeting someone. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just being around people, it doesn't have to have like an underlying meaning why you're there. Maybe you're just there just to be around people who are trying to get a little bit fitter, trying to get a little bit better, and you just want to be around that. Like, the feedback this week was so positive. Yeah. Like, people in messaging saying so good
to see people so happy and buzzing, and I've hit these times I've never done, never thought I would do
VO2 max
that.
going up, like, yeah, it's just great, man. Like, it's just such a, and again, like, we don't get anything out of that. We don't charge anything. Like, it's just facilitating a space for people to do it. It's like our community, our online community now, like, where we basically started introducing clients from my old brand, George's old brand, over the last couple of weeks. So there's obviously a lot of new people getting to know each other. And me and George were talking that it'll come, people will start loosening up a little bit. And this week, it's been honestly so nice to see. Yeah. Like, we've got multiple chats for different reasons in our community, like a nutrition chat, and every day now.
Step up chat as well. So we've basically got like a daily steps challenge where the app syncs to everyone's watch, right? So it's good accountability, and it just automatically posts like what everyone's doing. We've got a bit of a leaderboard going there as well. Pressure for me and you to be up the top, but then we've got some absolute animals in there, like Joe's doing averaging 15 to 20k steps a day. So it's just good accountability for everyone. So no, it's been a real good vibe, and just being a part of something bigger, I think, as well.
I think that's it, being something bigger. And like, instead of like being like a brand, it's like a movement, isn't it? And we want people to be like proud to be a part of it. And
I can't wait to get some merch done as well. 100%. We can all rock that.
And again, that's just one of those things, like, it is like we just want people to be proud of being something. And like, if they get a win in the gym, the first thing they want to do is like put it in the group. Yeah. And they know they're going to have 40, 50, 60, 70 people, like, unreal, like, so good, proud. And how there's no better environment than being in that. And you don't get, I think as you get older, that is something that does disappear a little bit. You do get people who maybe don't root for you as much. And especially one of the things in the UK is we are seen to be someone like a country that is very negative, right? And doesn't support growth or success. And
it was always like, if you went to the gym, you just feign.
You feign. Nothing to do with health or anything like that. Like, nothing at all. But you know what? Like, being around other like-minded people, because there are people out there like us, like normal people who want to be healthy, support other people. If you can get yourself in that sort of circle, it is impossible to fail. Like, it's impossible to fail. And that's essentially, it's not even what we're going to try to create. It's what we already have created and what will just continue to get better.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely love that. So I guess just to wrap up today's episode, I wanted a bit of accountability from our side. And I guess the listeners can almost put this into their own perspective as well. So Q1 is done, and I'm hoping that the situation in Dubai changes for Q2 for sure. But we're just working through it as hard as we can, I guess. But I guess for April now, then, so April the 2nd, let's go through personal, physical, business. What's maybe one of each that you would want to improve on? I mean, I'll go first, and then you say yours.
Yeah, go.
Personally, for me, I think when you're going through like an uncertain time with the economy, you naturally just sway towards like work more. So I think for me personally, it's about making sure that I'm dedicating that time on a daily basis, mainly to Roman, but the twins as well, but definitely to Roman, because he's at an age now at 3 where like there's just so much energy.
He needs to be stimulated.
He needs to be stimulated, and he's not going to nursery.
Yeah.
So that was obviously, he would usually come back from nursery so like tired, but where he's not burning that energy, he hasn't, he's got he needs to be burning energy basically. So for me, it's after dinner, taking him out, doing something for an hour. It's so hard because obviously you're trying to balance everything, but that would be one.
I think something just to highlight there, George, you highlighted something about people who get the best results. They're organised, right?
Yeah.
And that sort of comes into what you're saying there. Like, it's just something about organisation. Like, if you dedicate that time to post dinner, like it's Roman time, for example, like you need to make sure everything's done before that. So again, it comes down to just having that organisation.
And again, like maybe another thing I like to try and hold myself accountable is sometimes I see the weekdays as like work and then the weekends is just like off.
Downtime.
And sometimes on the weekends it's like, right, that's all the time with the kids. But actually they need a lot more of your time every day. So that's my personal dedication there. Physically, we've kind of touched on it, is up in the running. So moving to 4 runs, 3 gym sessions. The way that I'm going to get the runs in is just 6 a.m. runs. Like there's no other option.
What time do we meet Saturdays? 5, isn't it?
What time do we meet? I'm trying to think. I forgot. Yeah, it's early.
5.
My alarm's on for like 4:30.
Yeah, so I think it's like 5, isn't it, on the morning? Because if we do a longer run on the Saturday, so
yeah, so we'll be meeting nice and early for that, just getting them done, and then it won't again like impact family and work time. 4 runs, 3 gym, a bit more run specific. You know, it's the first time in my life my gym sessions have been tailored for something else other than building muscle and strength. So they're tailored towards running, which is quite
good.
fun.
But you sort of highlighted that earlier. Like, if you've got something you really want to improve in, just go all in on it.
Yeah.
So like everything is tailored
For that
towards
block.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, and then after you might reset and think about something else
Yes.
for sure. Because that's what makes it fun, right? That competition. And then business wise, for me, I think where there's so much going on, there's so many exciting things when I wake up. I want to like attack the most fun thing of the day first.
Yeah.
So for
We've got a
me,
lot
it's
of that.
about the first 90 minutes at least, but probably the first 4 hours of work dedicated to the things that have to be done. Fun things come later because it's so enticing to get into the growth, the branding, all of that stuff. So they're my 3 things there. Yourself?
Yeah, I love it. So personal, I've sort of started this already, to be fair, and I've seen such an uptick in everything in terms of productivity, like my mood, energy levels, everything. It's just getting up early. So my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. And I'm just up. And what I've realised, and again, it comes from trial and error. Like, you're never going to be perfect, but I know when I'm up at 5, I've got 2 options. I can either be slow in the morning and sit on the sofa, maybe scroll a little bit. Right away, if I do that, it's game over. Yeah. Like, my mood, my energy for the whole day is gone. But you know what? If I'm up, phone's away, I sort my breakfast out, I know what I'm having, I know my measurements, nice and quick, do that, have a quick coffee, shower, and then what I've figured out works for me, I do maybe 30 minutes of like intense work. If there's something specific that needs to be done, tick it off, and then I go train. And then that's like my energy set up for the day. So something I need to get better at is just make sure that I'm up at 5 every day. That morning routine is concrete and nothing shifts it unless it absolutely has to.
I think there's a saying like the last hour of the day and the first hour of the day are the most important of the whole day. Like, if you get them 2 right, your life is going to improve like drastically.
And I think as well, one of the things is when you think about it, the majority of the time, those are the hours you can control.
Yeah.
Majority. If
There's
we're
not
looking at
meetings
control,
or calls, unless you're putting them in there.
like, and
which is
you're
stupid.
you're not at work at that time. Like, in the evening, not for you, the kids are normally in bed by a certain time. So that last hour for you, like, you actually normally do have control. That morning when you're up, if I'm up and I say like 5 to 6, that's my time, but I haven't got anything really, but that isn't time I can control.
Yeah.
And again, it's really important. You can almost define how you start your day and how you end your day a lot of the time. Not every time, but a large amount of time. And I think it's a really nice mindset to have.
100%, yeah. I feel it massively. If the evening before, like, I've got an early night and my clothes are ready for the next day, to-do list is done, office is organised, electrolytes are on the side, like, I know I'm just winning that next day. And if I don't, which obviously it happens fairly frequently, I still get things done, but it's slower.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, a little message there: control the start of your day, control the end of your day.
Yeah,
you do have control of that, and
map
set yourself up.
Map it out. Actually, know what that last hour and that first hour looks like. Again, it might not be perfect, but at least have a sketch for it of what that's going to look like.
Absolutely. What was the second one? Was that in terms of performance?
Physical.
It's going to be. I know it's going to suck and it's going to be hard, but I've got to go for sub 39 10K. Okay. Have to go. That's going to be what it is. I do think it'd be tough. I'm definitely not as fit as I was at points last year. Fully know that.
But anything for April that you would want to implement physically that to maybe help you towards that?
Bit of rehab on my lower body because I've had a few niggles, and then I want to go from. The last few weeks I've only been able to move my body twice really because of my hamstrings. Last week I'm on 3 runs. This week I'm going for 4 runs.
Okay.
I want to be back at 5 runs next week. A lot of that's going to be easy, so it sounds a lot. It's not loads. A lot. 80% of that's going to be easy work.
Okay.
But that will be my aim. So next week, 5 runs, hopefully.
5 runs and rehab.
That's going to be that.
And then professionally?
Professionally, I think for me, similar to you, it's just making sure that the most important things are done. So we're going through such an exciting time at the moment. And my focus, and it always has been since I've been in this field, is the people we work for, I guess. So our clients, our members. So my focus is for the whole of April to make sure that we have the best possible service in place. That's from coaching delivery, that's from the app, that's from social and virtual events we put on. So that is my focus, like making sure the community is in the strongest possible place it can be.
Yeah.
And we do everything in the background to facilitate that.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's good. It's good to partner up as coaches and see as coaches what are each other's strengths and, well, mainly strengths. Like one thing that I've picked up from yourself is how much you care for people on a personal level. Like sometimes I'm guilty of looking at people and just seeing it as like, right, this person's here, this is their numbers, this is their data, are they on track, where do they need a push? And then, but for you, there's a massive in-person. It's just to reframe that. Not that I'm not thinking of people individually, but yeah, and then there's different strengths I imagine we'll learn from
Absolutely.
each other. Yeah.
I also do think that's sort of the direction we're going in with TGL, right? Like we want to provide people with the best service, the best experience possible. On a personal level, we want to create that safe space for them to succeed and win and feel the best possible version of themselves, right?
Absolutely. We'll wrap it up there.
Another one. Done.
Definitely, if you were listening as well, do that yourself. Personal, physical, professional. What do you want to work on in April? Have that accountability. Send us a message if you want to on thegoodlife.ae Instagram. And good session.
See you soon.